So in today's video I will be showing you how to start up a Boeing 737 from a completely shut down state to ready for taxiing. First we turn on the battery switch, then we verify a minimum of 24 DC volts on the voltmeter above, and we verify that the standby power switch and the alternate flaps are guarded. The windshield wipers should be in the off or park position. The electrical hydraulic pumps need to be turned off. The fuel pumps need to be switched off. The cabin, utility and IAV passenger switches are on. The gear lever is down with 3 green lights. And the parking brake is set with 1 red illuminated light. This blue illuminated light tells us that the ground power is available, so we can turn it on. Having done that, we can set the interior lights to our preferences. And now we want to test the fire and overheat protection system situated here. Putting this switch to the left, we can see fault lights and APU detection in operative light, and overheat detection lights on the master caution panel. Next is the overheat and fire test. Putting the switch to the right, we hear a loud bell. We have fire warning and master caution lights, and the 3 big red lights, which indicate engine 1, 2 and APU. We will also check the fire extinguisher circuits 1 and 2. All green lights, the test is okay. Having done the necessary checks, we can continue starting up the aircraft. Because we have AC power running, which is the ground power, we can turn on the IRSs, which are the inertial reference systems. We put them both to nav position. We wait for the red on DC light to extinguish. And when we have 2 align white lights, then we're good to go. We move to the FMC, which is the flight management computer. We go to the initial reference page and we start filling in information in the squares. First we fill in the 4-letter code of the airport and then the gate number. We will then receive GPS coordinates, which we will fill in the IRS position. Now we copy our GPS coordinates and paste it there. And then we can check how long it takes for the alignment to complete by turning this knob. We can see 7 minutes. Moving on, we select the yaw damper to on. We check the emergency exit lights that they were armed. We turn on the passenger signs, recirculation fans on auto and the packs on auto. Now the aircraft is ready to start the APU. For that we turn on 1 fuel pump, the left aft pump. And we select the APU switch to on and start for 3 seconds. We will see an immediate rise in the EGT gauge, which is the exhaust gas temperature. And now we wait until this blue light illuminates, which will tell us that the APU generator is available. The power source will then change from the ground power to the APU. The blue light has illuminated, so we can select the switches to on bus. Now the AC power does not come from the ground power anymore, but from the APU. Now we verify the voltage of the AC power by selecting the AC voltmeter to APU generator. We test the operation and the overheat detection system of the window heat, and then we turn it on. And then we turn all the fuel pumps and the hydraulic pumps on. We turn off the packs. As the APU has been running for more than a minute now, we can turn on the APU lead. And we verify that we have a minimum of 30 psi. As we will be starting the engine soon, we will turn on the anti-collision light. Now we are ready to start the engine. First we select the start switch of engine 2 to ground position. Now we wait until the N2 gauge has reached a value of 20%. And when it reaches 20%, we put the fuel control switch to idle. We can see that the exhaust temperature is immediately rising and that the N1 is also rising. So now we wait until it stabilizes. And when the engine is fully started up and stabilized, the starter switch will automatically switch back to off. And now we repeat this for engine number 1. First we select the start switch to ground position. 20% N2. And then we put the control switch to idle. After stabilization of the engine, also this start switch will automatically jump back to off position. We verify the voltage of 1 and 2 to see if they are entirely powered up and fully working. The voltages seem good, so we put the start switches to continuous. Now we see 2 blue lights illuminated, which tells us that the generator 1 and 2 are ready to be switched to. So we put those 2 switches to on. And now we don't need the APU anymore, so we will be turning off the APU bleed, and the packs can be turned back on. And after that the APU master switch. And at last we turn on the pedostatic heat or probe heat. We put the auto brake to rejected takeoff. We turn on the taxi lights, and as required we can also turn on the runway turn off lights if there's bad visibility. So yeah, that was basically it. You are now ready for taxiing. Shit.